morning, everybody. This is Jordan, and this is my presentation for developing and fostering a positive culture in our educational environments and what we can do as leaders to really nurture that relationship with our followers. So, let's first talk about the types of leadership, and I actually really enjoyed this quote that I found. Traditional leadership is about control, rules, regulations, and boundaries, while the modern business approach is about freedom of thought, room for creativity, the value of a new outcome, and a warm welcome for ideas. So, we are going to be talking about the different modern leadership theories. Most of us are very familiar with all of these. Do we all agree with every single one? Probably not. I know that I don't. I have a few that I prefer to utilize in my day-to-day life. I am personally not a fan of great man theory, trait theory, and behavioral theory. I'm kind of on the fence about it, and same with transactional theory, but I don't necessarily believe that people are born inept and cannot be a leader or can't develop those skills. I'm firmly, in the corner that leadership skills are something that take time and need to be worked on, and you are not born necessarily to be a leader. So what I'm going to do is, on this next slide, talk about my personal leadership approach. So I rely heavily on the contingency theory, situational theory, and transformational leadership theory. So with contingency, what I do in student life is very fluid. Every day does not look the same. Every day something is different. And, I deal with so many different students. Our campus has 15,000 students. And so working with these students, there's no one size fits all category. So what might be easy for one student to understand may not be the same for another. And that is how we have to, we have to have a contingency. We have to have other ways and be trained and knowledgeable of how we can work with these students effectively. Which means we got to have a bunch of cards in our pocket to be able to pull. And it's same with situational leadership theory. So there are situational variables that we cannot control. And one of the things that kind of changed my life, that helped me fully grasp, just let go of control, was my dean told me my first year as a coordinator, Jordan, you can't control people and you can't control the weather. And that really helped me to understand, okay, I don't need to be freaking out about this. What I need to be doing is having a plan B. And I need to lead not with fear, but by example for my students and for my fellow staff that are helping me with a certain project. So we have to always be able to adapt because, like I said, every day is different. Every day we do not have some set schedule that we follow. Some days we're doing paperwork, 9 to 5, and then other days we're working 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. during welcome week. So, but the leadership theory I really focus on the most, especially with my part-timers and my student workers and my colleagues that are right here in my office with me, is transformational leadership theory. I really focus on relationship building. I think it's so important. I know it's important to obviously keep professional boundaries, but it is so important for your followers to feel like they are being seen, they are being heard. What they have to say is important, and you're viewing it as important. And unfortunately, when I walked onto this campus, I have something pressing that I have to deal with within my area that all of my part-timers and student workers were going to quit because before I got here. And then once I was able to kind of build that rapport with them, they opened up to me so much, and they felt like they could trust me, and they knew I had their best interests at heart and that I wanted to take care of them. And the reason that they didn't think that prior to was the person that was serving as their supervisor intermittently did not have the same leadership style as I do. Her leadership style is very transactional, and when you're working with, we work primarily with we were a student life works with the whole campus, obviously, but in our area, we have first gen students, we have F1 visa students, so we have to really be cognizant of how we are building those relationships and what we are doing in order to strengthen our team. Because, like I tell my students all the time, I'm like, listen, we are one team, we are equals, and I don't think I am more important than one of them, and we are all on the same playing field. You shine, I shine, you fall, I fall. So that's kind of the approach that I take, and I can honestly say that the office environment that I have now has taken a complete and total 180 from where it was 4 or 5 months ago when I got here, and that's actually something I'm incredibly proud of. And these are my references.